Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us today at our 3 p.m. presser. We have Deputy Warden Dustin Inslow with us. We will follow the same pattern we have been. We will let Deputy Warden give an update, and then we will open for questioning. I'll ask that you give your name and the agency you represent. My name is Nadine McCormick, and I'm the Public Information Officer for Annapolis Remo. Deputy Warden, would you like to start?
Thank you. So first, I guess we're going to start with the fire update. So the fire is still being held at 85 square kilometers. I believe on Monday I reported a different number, but I think the number that was provided to us was a little bit different, where it showed that it went to almost 87 square kilometers, which was not correct. So it's being held at 8,500 or 85 square kilometers, and there's still no report of any new damage or loss. The incident command post has actually moved back up to West Dalhousie, and I was very fortunate this morning to see that. You know, some people may see that as a bit of a fear situation, but it's not. It's a very positive thing. The fact that they're able to move back up to West Dalhousie means that they're able to get closer to the fire. That is a good sign. So it should not be looked upon as a negative. They're working very hard at continuing to deal with spot fires. That is why we're seeing a lot of helicopters and aircraft. It is important to also note that this community center and various other buildings within West Dalhousie was saved due to the amount of work that Department of Natural Resources, Department of Emergency Management, and all of our volunteer firefighters did to save these homes. We do know that there was houses that were lost, but we know that forest fires are uncontrollable. But the fact that we were able to save a lot of structures just shows the hard work that was put in. Last night they had infrared camera scans done, and it was showing good progress where there's only a few really hot spots. Now, just because there's only a few does not mean that there's no fire outside of that. This just means these are the highest burning heat areas that they're really trying to focus on to make sure that it does not spread. They're still continuing to deal with the situation. As we all know, it's continued to get drier, and we're not seeing any rain in the forecast. We've been very fortunate to have cooler nights and cooler mornings, which allows them to get in quicker in the morning. But the problem is as we go by day without rain, we continue to get drier and drier temperature, drier and drier fuel. So that is why they're working extremely hard to make sure that they're putting out these spot fires and dealing with the really high intense areas. That way it does not spread. We still have to be aware that even though we do have people that are back into their homes, this is still an active fire situation. And with the current conditions that we're in, we could see additional flare-ups. So we just have to ensure that we are always ready with a 72-hour kit to make sure that we're able to step up. And if we have to evacuate a certain area, then we will do so. But we want to make sure that people are aware that this is still an active forest fire situation. We're still not out of the woods yet, but we've had a lot of good news stories over the past 3 weeks, and the fact that we've had 3 reentries is very positive. So moving forward, tonight and tomorrow, they plan to have more scans done. That way they can ensure that they're tracking where the hot spots are. And as they pop up, they can deal with them with personnel on the ground. Today, there are, 5 helicopters, 2 pieces of heavy equipment, 9 water tankers, and the firefighters on site are 45 DNR, 17 members from Quebec, 19 from Parks Canada, as well as various support staff that are working at the incident command, including members from not only DOT, but Department of Natural Resources and Department of Emergency Management. We also have the Northwest Territories planes that are flying. Now, we've had some concern today about people seeing them picking up water. And there's some stigma, the fact that when they see these planes, they feel that the fire is starting to get worse, which is not the case. The reason we're now seeing the aircraft more in the Annapolis River or outside of that area is meant for training of the pilots. They need to maintain a certain number of hours in flying to make sure that they are still relevant and successful when they're called upon to deal with the fire situations. And the reason you're seeing them away from the wildfire is so that it does not impact the operations that the helicopters are working in right now. The current fire situation, helicopters are the best way to fight this fire because we're dealing with very precise locations that they can dump water on, and the fixed wing aircraft are meant for a more of a broader stroke, which based on DNR will decide when they're being used. But at the same time, we don't want to see them not get their hours to make sure that their skills aren't up to date. Also, we want to report that our comfort center has not only moved to a new location, but our hours have changed. So effective today, the comfort center has moved from the Bridgetown Fire Hall to the Bridgetown Curling Club located at 333 Granville Street. And the timings are from 12 p.m. until 7 p.m. So 12 noon until 7 p.m. This is in response to the changing situation with the evacuees. We now have a smaller number, and this is an area of the curling club is an area that we've been utilizing and the community's been utilizing for a comfort area since the beginning of the evacuation. So we're just going with that need, and we're adapting with the requirements. But I did make a mistake, so it's effective tomorrow. So today it is still at the fire hall, but tomorrow, starting at noon until 7 p.m., it will be at the Bridgetown Curling Club. And it sounds like a lot of people are happy about this, which is a step in the right direction because we're able to provide laundry machines at that location to help with the people that are still evacuated. Yesterday, we had municipal staff at the Nicktal Fire Hall, and they handed out water test kits for people that were interested in getting their water tested for the three areas that were entered. But we're really focusing on the individuals that were re-entered on the number 10, and that's why it's at the Nicktal Fire Hall. So this is it's not a requirement. We're offering this service for free to the individuals that want to get their water tested. We're not saying that you have to, it's just we know that the people want this and we're offering to support them in this. So if people want to get their water tested, they would have picked up their water sample kits. And there's two important dates because the municipality will be the one that's managing this water testing. So we will be collecting them on September 23rd and September 30th from 7 a.m. until 9:30 a.m. at the Nicktal Fire Hall. This is to ensure that we can give it directly to the lab and there's no additional cost to individuals, as well as it's not putting extra strain on the medical system at Soldiers Memorial that usually does smaller amount of water testing. We are sending that as a bulk order, and water samples are a time-sensitive issue. We also, on our county website, have posted a test your well water after wildfire frequently asked question list. So please, if you have any questions about testing your water, please reach out and look at that frequently asked question, or you can simply call our 1-833-806-1515 and someone can speak to you or direct you in the right way. Yesterday, we had another milestone where we actually allowed 20 homes back, and it went extremely well. And we know each time we allow and support a reentry, it just adds more and more morale to the individuals that are evacuated. Um, it went extremely well, and there was no issue. So this is the third reentry that we've had no issues. People have been very positive and supportive, and we know that it is an inconvenience sometimes to wait in line to show your ID to get back home, but this is the process that we have to do to ensure safety of not only the residents, but the people that are supporting us in fighting this fire. Evacuees were also at that time presented with a cleaning kit and information package from the Red Cross and municipal services that were there. And a special waste collection has been scheduled for this Monday, September 22nd at 9 a.m. for those individuals in West Dalhousie that were part of the reentry yesterday. So it's important to please, if you have normal garbage or for waste collection, that you put it out by the road by 9 a.m. on Monday, September 22nd, so this coming Monday. We also wanted to pass along information around refrigerator and deep freeze removal. We recognize that the individuals now from the past two reentries are areas that had no power for quite a few weeks. So people have refrigerators and freezers that are well beyond repair, and they're quite smelly and full of food that has gone bad or stale. So there's just a few steps, and we also have information on our website to talk about that. But what we're asking people to do is when you return home and your power is put back on, please plug your fridge or freezer in, freeze the items or make the items cold that are within the fridge or freezer. That way you can easily remove them. I know that the smell is not going to be pleasant until things are frozen. Then you are required to remove them and place all compostable items in the green bin, and all other waste must be placed in clear bags. And remember, just like any other waste collection time, that they can't be more than 30 pounds in weight. Once it is cleaned, you can place it out by the road and tape or fasten them shut for safety. We don't want any type of critters getting inside because even after the food is removed, there's still smells that will attract animals. And then once they're all roadside, the municipality, just like what we did for the reentry that just happened last week, the municipality's public works department will stop at each individual property and pick up the fridges or deep freezes that are roadside and take them to the waste collection center for the proper disposal. But with that, a time and date will be determined to work with the individuals to ensure that they have the time to do this, and it's done in a safe manner. So please do not put your fridge or freezer out to the end of the road with food in it. It is a bit of a safety risk because it will attract animals, and we do not need any more animals or anything that we have to be dealing with. And we don't really want to attract bears as we're entering the fall season. I believe that is everything I have, Nadine.
Thank you, Deputy Warden. We can open the floor up for questions. We will be here till 3:30, so we have a good 15 minutes. Again, just raise your virtual hand, give your name and agency you're with, and ask your question. If there's time, we can do further questioning. Do we have anyone that has any today? Oh, Jason, go ahead.
Hi, Dustin. It's Jason Malloy from the Annapolis Valley Register. Did I understand correctly yesterday you floated the number of about $100,000 had been donated to assist residents in the West Dalhousie area?
You must have been talking at the council meeting.
Yes.
Yes, so it was brought to my attention that there's approximately close to $100,000. I don't know the exact number because I'm not involved. Just it was mentioned in passing that various organizations, whether they're fundraisers or private donations that have been donated to the West Dalhousie Community Hall, separate from all the monetary donations to the Salvation Army. We still, as a municipality, are partnering with the Salvation Army as our preferred donatee or donator, and managing it on our behalf. But the West Dalhousie Community Hall is a registered nonprofit, so they are also managing some of, the funds that people donated. I believe my understanding is that they have put it into a different mechanism, and at this time they're unsure what they're going to do with that money in regards to spreading it out or purchasing something, or I really don't know. But that will be up to the West Dalhousie Community Hall. I'm sure, knowing them, that we've learned over the past 35 or 36 days that, whatever they do is usually in the best interest for that community, and they've been nothing but supportive. So I have all the faith that they'll do what needs to be done to support their people and their residents.
Thank you, Deputy Warden. Oh, sorry, Jason, do you have a follow-up?
Yes, please. What's it tell you, Dustin, that in a relatively short period of time, that amount of money has come in to that one organization outside of the other, like you say, the Salvation Army's also collecting donations? What's it tell you about, the support for the West Dalhousie residents?
Well, there's not really a word to describe that. The community support we've seen, not just with donations, but with different events being held or people stepping up and donating furniture, equipment. It's just been astonishing. It's just, I don't even know what word I would say other than it's just been completely amazing. In the times we live in, that, sometimes you see the negatives all the time. That's all you see in the communities where people, they're not always getting along. But then something like this comes together, and we all come together as one to support our people. And the fact that this is what's being done, and they were able to so quickly accept so many donations, is just phenomenal. It really says something for our communities near and abroad. I believe there's people that donated money that was not even from this province, to not only West Dalhousie, but to the Salvation Army. It just really, really lifts you up. And they're the things that really bring us out of the bad situation. So if there's a day that the fire is worse, or you're dealing with, at the municipal level, a lot of moving pieces and trying to make sure everyone is happy and supported, you feel the weight of that, and you end up having a bad day. But then when you hear positive news like this, it really lifts you up to realize that you guys, that we are doing the right thing for the right people. I don't want to say it gives you faith in humanity. I wouldn't go that far, because I don't feel that's the right term, but it just really hits home that we are Canadians, we are Nova Scotians, and we will continue to support each other. And words can't describe it. Thanks for putting me on the spot, Jace.
Just any idea what the figure might be from Salvation Army? How much money may have come in at this point? Have you heard that number?
No, and I haven't heard, nor have we really asked. It's definitely something that maybe we should, but when the time's right. I just know that there's been a lot of donation to the Salvation Army, which will allow them to, that's allowed them to this point to support everyone and to fulfill the needs that is needed in the community. So I have no idea what the figure is, but I would say most likely is probably similar to what the West Dalhousie Community Hall has, but that's just speculation at this point. So I'm sure more information as we get out of and get back into a normal routine, and we're no longer in crisis mode. As part of an after action, I'm sure we'll find out that information.
Thank you, Deputy Warden. Sheldon, you have a question?
I think I'm off mute. Thank you for the opportunity. Sheldon McLeod, MBS Radio. A few questions here. Water testing, I know that's time and temperature sensitive. I'm assuming all that instruction is handed out with the kit?
It was. So not only was it handed out with the kit when they were provided out last night, but there's information on our website, as well as there was information provided in the, I don't want to call welcome home package, but the package that was given to individuals during the reentry phase.
Okay. You also would obviously mention this is the third wave of returnees. Any indication yet from DNR when the next phase might be? Their updates have been pretty much very clinical and specific, not necessarily talking about when a timeline might be explained.
Yeah, so at this point, it's just pure speculation. We rely on them for the information and the recommendation. We're the ones that approve and activate the reentry. But at this time, I do know that just like the past 3 weeks, that is always a high on their priority list to see when is it safe to do so to bring people home. Um, you know, I haven't really heard of any date associated with the next reentry. But at any time we could get a recommendation any day, but we don't know what that looks like. Like I said on Monday at the press, that we'll most likely continue to see smaller pockets of reentry now that we're into a heavily affected area. And right now it's just trying to figure out how is the safest way to do that. So the areas that have not been part of the reentry yet, they are still areas that encompass the hot spots we talked about with the scans from last night. We also have, different telecommunications that have not been hooked up yet. The power hasn't been completely finished in those areas, and they're still working on some of the falling trees. But as we go through, we'll work with DNR on the recommendations. We would all love to say it's over, it's done, and you're going home tomorrow. But the problem is we have to really deal with reality. And long story short, no, at this time we don't. But we're hopeful that as time progresses over the next few weeks, that we can hopefully have some reentry in some smaller capacity. And as soon as we get the information and we give the approval, the public will be the first ones to know.
Thank you. Just a quick clarification, the infrared images, is that drone work or is that helicopters?
That's drone work.
Okay. Last question, because
yeah.
they told me 4:31 last night that they had not gotten an answer if that DNR helicopter is still in the lake. They haven't gotten back to me. It's been 2 days. So do you know?
So I'm going to respect the fact that that's a DNR issue, and I don't want to speak for them on that behalf.
Okay. No, not asking for you to speak on their behalf, just trying to solve what should be a fairly straightforward question to answer that they haven't gotten back to me on. They're very, I'll be honest, not very prompt at getting back to the wildfire emails. So thank you.
So I will assure you that after this press conference, I will pass that up to DNR to hopefully get some information out there.
Thank you, Sheldon. I don't see any other questions from the others. So Jason, you have another question?
Yes, just with the water testing. Until those tests come back, can residents use their water for drinking? Is there any restrictions that way?
So yes and no. So what we're doing is this is not a mandatory thing. We're providing the services. But until these test results come back, especially for the people that are in closer areas, we are providing some bottled water. But I would encourage people to look at our frequently asked questions online, as per what the direction is. Me personally, I haven't dug in great detail on the water issue. I wasn't part of the conversation yesterday, but we will get back to you with an answer on that, on an official answer.
And the tests that are being done now, does it cover the people that had re-entered back to their homes in the previous 2 weeks, or have those tests already been done?
Yeah, so this water test right now is really only focused on the individuals that were in and around the number 10. So people that were around Swicker Lake, Trout Lake, anyone that was around a lake is what we're really focusing on, because they're more of a groundwater source. And as we move through this process, we'll continue to open that up. But for the other people, it is going to be part of their reentry packages.
And with the curling club,
Mhm.
was the curling club the incident command post after it moved back from West Dalhousie Community Hall?
No, so when the fire got really bad and they left West Dalhousie Community Hall, the instant command post was actually the Bridgetown Legion and the Bridgetown Rink. Now they have moved from those locations and they're back in West Dalhousie. The curling club was open and used by volunteers and local community leaders to provide an extra place for people to get some meals or to come together and talk. And what we're doing is just matching that resource and allowing the fire department to have some operation normal, because they need to conduct training and different things that they use that facility for. And we were seeing a decrease in the amount of people that were going to the fire hall. So we were seeing our navigator spending time at the curling club anyway. And from talking to the various people that are still evacuated, this was mostly their preference. And we worked with the province to work with the curling club to install a washer and dryer machine there for the people that were evacuated. And we stood up and helped purchase that and get that installed with a partnership with the curling club. So this was just a natural progression, but it was not related to the incident command post. This was just the comfort center.
Just two clarifications there. One washer, one dryer?
Yes.
And I just want to be clear, when the comfort center moved tomorrow to the curling club, the navigator moves with the comfort center to the curling club?
Yeah, so there's going to be more information released over the next day or so on the navigator program and the different hours and where they're going to be located at.
Okay.
But yes, they will be operating out of the curling club, but there may be times where they're not at the curling club. They could be here at the municipality building, or they could be in different meetings off-site. But we will continue to have our 1833 number, as well as the number the navigator can be contacted during the 10 to 7 hours or 12 to 7, I should say, to get an appointment. As you can imagine, that position has become extremely busy, and that individual's main focus is doing whatever he can to help people navigate through this challenging time. And as we move forward through this, things get more and more complicated. We see at the beginning when we had the navigator, it was focused on, like, how are we going to get the money from the municipality? not in the municipality, sorry, but for the province. And then it was, well, what are we going to do with site visits and different things? And now it's progressing into helping people with insurance claims and trying to provide information to them. In some cases, it's just someone to talk to, because the fact that this member was also one of the evacuees has helped bring that personal touch to it, where they all went through some of it together. So more information will follow over the next few days about the Navigator program, but it's still extremely important to have and support.
One small question, if I can squeeze one through here. Just any more information on provincial financial assistance checks coming back to the municipality, that you need to get that information out to the residents, the evacuees?
So no, not at this time. We're very fortunate that individuals, it was clarified that they don't have to apply each time. They only had to apply once, and then as the time progresses, the system knows what addresses we sent back. So they'll get those checks and then be notified. The goal is to have as many people as possible set up on direct entry payment. That way there's no checks. People don't have to come pick things up. It will just be when the payment comes, it will go directly into your bank account. That is the end result, and that's what we're hoping for. That way people can get their money as soon as it's available.
Okay. Oh, thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, everyone. We have reached our 3:30 mark, so we will wrap this up today. Our plan is to be here again on Friday at 3 p.m. and then we will revisit for the following week to see the necessity. We might cut it down to 1 a week, but again, we've learned to pivot here, so we'll confirm next week for sure. In any case, we hope to see you on Friday. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.